Global Leadership Management, Chapter 2 is about personality, stress, learning, and perception. So let's start. This chapter is describing the big 5 personality dimensions, explain the benefits of understanding and identifying personality profiles, describe your stress personality type, list causes of stress, and describe how to be more effective at controlling stress. Then contrast intelligence and emotional intelligence. Describe 4 learning styles and know which is your preferred learning style. Then describe 6 bases affecting perception, and at last explain the importance of first impressions and how to project a positive image. So let's start. So what is personality? As an introduction for personality, personality is understanding how personality, stress, learning style, and perception affect workplace. Helps global leaders manage teams better. So learning about each of the terms, personality, stress, learning style, and perception, will help you in the future as a leader or a manager or a supervisor at your workplace, either it's local or global. It helps you to manage your team better, to understand your team better, and behave in a proper way. So why it matters in leadership? Different people react and learn in different ways. Of course, we all came from different backgrounds. We all have different perceptions and views about our life, personally and professionally. We all think in different ways, so people are different. And leaders need to learn about them in order to be able to direct all of them, control them, guide them, and understand them. So leaders who understand these factors can create stronger, more productive teams. A relatively stable set of traits that aids in explaining and predicting individual behavior. Meaning that if you learn the traits of others, if you learn their characteristics, you will predict their behaviors, and that will be easier for you in order to find a suitable leadership style to deal with it. So traits are distinguishing personal characteristics. Of course, traits are differentiating and distinguishing each person from another. Each person has a different characteristics and traits, so each one is different from the other. So here, personality is the sum of genetics and life experiences. So when you say, for example, this person has a very strict personality, this person has a strong personality, a weak personality, a kind personality, how this came up, or how this was produced in that person, it is the sum or the combination of genetics, okay, and life experiences. So there are 2 things that create personality and builds personality in a person, which is genetics and experiences that that person have been throughout life. So personality traits or characteristics can be changed at any age with work and experience. So as much as you experience things more, you learn new things, you get older, you will face new situations in life, you will learn new things, and sometimes you change some way of thinking in yourself, you change your characteristics, you change the way you behave. So personality can be changed throughout life. So if we define personality, personality is the unique set of behavior, thoughts, and emotions that shape how we interact with others. So personality is a combination of behavior, thoughts, and emotions. All of them together shapes a person and shapes how that person interacts with others. So if we talk about the popular personality models, we have big 5 personality traits, which is called OCEAN. Each letter is stands for a word. O is for openness, C for consciousness, E extraversion, A agreeableness, and N neuroticism. So openness means how much this person is creative, how much this person is curious, they want to learn new things. So it's about the creativity and curiosity of the people or of that particular person. Consciousness is responsibility and organized. How much this person is responsible, how much he is or she is organized in her life. Either it's private life, it's social life, or professional life. Then we have extraversion. which is the opposite of introversion, which is how much this person is outgoing, energetic, and positive. Also, we have agreeableness, how much this person is cooperative, kindness, tries to understand others, behaves in a proper way. Then we have neuroticism, which is the sensitivity and anxiousness of that person. How much this person, for example, sometimes you say, oh, be careful talking to this person because he is or she is very sensitive. Be careful with the words that you're using. So this is sensitivity. Or maybe anxiousness, it's like stress. There are people who are stressed or anxious. So they get stressed before the exams, they get stressed when they face a new thing. So these are all characteristics or traits in the personality of people. So one of the models is Big Five personality traits ocean, which is this one that we have discussed, and it divides the personality characteristics onto these five characteristics. So why it's matter to learn about personality and understand others? Because understanding personality help leaders assign tasks, form teams, and improve communication. So once you understand each personality among your team, you will know how to assign tasks, give which task to whom. For example, if you have an introvert team member in your team, it's better to give them, for example, those tasks that does not need facing other people and negotiating with others. Maybe they can work on a laptop, maybe you can give them some technical thing like in the office. But if you have an extrovert person, a curious and creative person in your team, an employee like that, maybe you can put them as sales or as marketing, because they need to talk to others, they are exposed to people, they're going into society. So you can assign tasks among your team players based on their personality. So and also, if you understand them better, know how they behave, how they think, how they feel, you can communicate with them better, because once you know how a person thinks, you can find a way to communicate with them and even convince them with what you want. So as an example, a conscious team member is ideal for detail-oriented tasks because they feel more responsible, they are more organized, you can give them detailed tasks, while an extrovert may excel in presentation. So you give an extrovert a presentation in front of a huge audience. So this is an example. All right. So I'll move to another slide. We have type A and B, or when we call it locus of control. So regarding controlling, how personalities are controlled or control, we have type A and B. Type A personality are those who are fast-moving, hard-driving, time-conscious, competitive, impatient, preoccupied with work, commonly associated with a high level of stress. So there are people, maybe they always want to compete with others, they are always busy with their work, they move, they come here, they go there, they're very active. Sometimes even they're impatient, they want things to get done on time and like fast. And sometimes they are stressed because they are seeking for perfection. While we have type B personality, they are totally opposite of type A. They are more slow, they care less, they don't care about being competitive or competing with others. They give things their time. So they are less stressed, more relaxed, so they are easygoing or laid back. So this is also two types of personality at work. So as a continuous of this slide, locus control is a continuum representing your belief as to whether external or internal forces control your destiny. So here, how you can represent your belief and how to understand others' belief, relating it to external and internal forces. We have externalizer and internalizer. Externalizers believe they have little control over their life. So those people who are externalizers, okay, they believe they have little control of their lives and are closed to new experiences. They give up easy when faced by challenges, and they are more likely to be unhappy and unsuccessful. While internalizers are those people who believe they have control over their things in life, and they are more open to new experiences to improve their performance, and usually they are happy and successful. So there's this exercise, it's for you, you can do it yourself. This is an assessment. You can even copy and paste, because I uploaded the slides in a PowerPoint format. So you can even copy and paste this picture here, this photo, and print it. You can test yourself which type you are. This is another test as well. You can test yourself which type you are. So you will get some numbers later on. You will find out in which category you are. Here you can see it here. You will find your category and the type of personality you have. So this is for yourself. Okay, so I'll continue. The Big Five model of personality. First one is Surgency personality dimension, include leadership and extroversion trait. So let's learn about this type of personality. Surgency personality dimension include what? Leadership and extroversion traits. So people with a strong leadership score, they are energetic, they are assertive, they are active, they are ambitious, like to be in charge. So they want to be responsible of things, they want to take positions, they want to handle teams, and want to get ahead. Also, lead through competing and influencing. So people with weak surgency score, this is the opposite, want to be followers. They don't like to compete or influence. So surgency personality has two types, either people with strong leadership or strong surgency, or the weak ones. The one with strong one, they tend to be leaders, they want to be managers, they want to get promoted, they want to learn more, they are ambitious, they want to get promoted, and they are motivated all the time. But people with weak synergy, they are exactly vice versa. They usually stay long years in the same organization, in the same department, as an employee without any position, without learning new things, and they don't compete. They just want things to get done and go home. While here we have extroversion. Extroversion is outgoing, sociable, gregarious, willing to confront others, and they like to meet new people. While introverts, they are shy. So I believe you heard about term extroverts and introvert. Extrovert are those people who are always wanting to expose to the society. They have a lot of friends. They go to gatherings. They make new friends easily. But introverts are usually shy, they stay most of the time at home, they make fewer friends, and so on. We have agreeableness personality dimension. What are the dimensions of agreeableness? So it includes traits related to getting along with people. People with a strong agreeability score, we always have two types of people. Some people agrees easily with others. Some people, no, they always criticize, they never agree, they always opposite, so like that. People who agree, who has a strong agreeability score, they are good-natured, they are warm, they're easygoing. For example, a group of people, they want to go for a picnic. So those who has a strong agreeability score, they say, okay, I'm ready, let's go on this Friday, whatever you choose, any place, I'm ready. But people with weak agreeability score, they are more difficult. So they say, no, this Friday I cannot, no, I don't like, no, it's so soon, no, it's too late, no, let's go this place, no, let's go that place. So they are very difficult to deal with and handle. They are usually unfriendly, uncompanionable, unless they are socializing less. So these are the two types of agreeableness personality. If we move to another type of personality, which is adjustment personality dimension. These types, of course, they are based on the Big Five model of personality. Adjustment personality dimension, it also has some dimensions, include traits related to emotional stability. So people with poor adjustment are often classified as narcissists. I believe you heard the word narcissistic. Okay, so they tend to be self-centered people. They only care about themselves. They believe they are very important. They believe they are the center of everything. They only look for their self-interest. They ignore others. And even in relationships, they always have problems because they want to be dominant. They want others to follow their commands. So these people are usually narcissistic. and always they believe they are right and others are wrong. But people with a stronger score in stability, they are more good self in control, they are calmer, they are more relaxed, they are positive, they feel secure. So they like, look, this is exactly the opposite of the narcissistic peoples. The people with a strong emotional stability, they don't fear for different opinions. They feel more secure, they trust in themselves, they have a very strong self-esteem. And people with weak score and ability, they are out of control. They are poor under pressure. They're always nervous, insecure. They feel like they are maybe others will criticize them. They don't trust themselves. They are moody. They are depressed. They think negative about everything, and they get angry most of the time. So I'll move to number 4, which is consciousness, personality dimension. It includes the traits that are related to achievement. So we have 3 types. A continuum between being responsible and dependable and being irresponsible and independable. So a good predictor of life and career success, and people with a strong score on consciousness, they are persistent, credible, conforming, organizing, hardworking, and goes the extra mile. So there are people who are more conscious, they are more aware about life, they are more educated, they are more, how to say it, they learn about cultures, they learn about others, they work hard, they respect others' opinion. And of course, those people success more in life, while the opposite are those people with a low score in consciousness. They are more into themselves. They are low learners, they don't learn much. They are weak in understanding others, and they are less organized. If we move to openness to experience personality dimension, so open to change and willing to try new things. Of course, here we also have 2 types of people. People with a strong score in openness and people with weak score in openness. Those who are willing to be open, they are imaginative, they are intellectual, they're very open-minded, they are creative, they are willing to learn new things, experience new things, while weak score in openness, those people who are less open-minded, they usually avoid change and avoid trying new things, and they always want to stay in their own box. They don't want to go out of the box. So using behavior that match the big 5 personality types, we have some steps. Step 1 is determining personality type. So finding which type that person is and try to understand their behaviors and predict it. Then in step 2, we are matching the personality type. So we select the behavior used to match the other person's personality type. So at step 1, we are trying to understand the behavior of the people. In step 2, trying to match those personality together. So how to do this? We come back to the 5 courses of personality type and how to merge them. First, we have surgency. So we have extroverts and introverts. If you have extroverts, they like to talk, so you can easily communicate with them because they show interest, they ask questions, and it's better to let them talk. While introverts, you need to take it slower. So don't pressure them. Don't draw them out. Don't point them out in front of a group of people, and give them time to think before they respond. If we talk about agreeableness, so those people who are agreeable try to be, they're more friendly and supportive, so it's easier to deal with them. They don't like to show that they don't disagree with you, but be sure to ask questions and watch for their non-verbal cues to understand if they're saying yes or no. While disagreeable people, try not to upset them because usually they don't like to agree with you, so try to use a simple, kind language with them, and don't put up with their bad behavior. Be patient with them, tolerate them, because sometimes they're using defensive mechanisms. Stay friendly and try to win them over. If we move to adjustment, we have emotionally stable people. They are easier to get along with, while emotionally unstable people, they are unpredictable. So it's better when you deal with them and try to understand them, stay calm, be supportive, and show concern for them. In order they feel more secure and they trust you. If we move to consciousness, we have two types again. Conscious people, they will come through for you. So they're more supportive, they don't nag much, they don't complain much, and thank them. While non-conscious people, they tend to need reminded to complete tasks. Because usually they don't care or they are ignorant, so set clear deadlines for them. Follow them regularly so that they will not ignore their tasks, and express your appreciation for their progress and task completion. So it motivates them more. And the last one is openness. Of course, we have open people and let's say closed ones or not open ones. So open people, they like change and trying new things. So focus on sharing information with them, sharing ideas, and they will absolutely help you with creative problem solutions. While closed people, they don't like change. They want to stay where they are. They want to stay when they are, again. And they tend to focus on short-term and ignore long-term benefits. So use facts and figures with them to make them understand and make them change what they believe. So it's better always to come with numbers, with facts and figures in order to convince them. This is also another exercise. You may complete it for yourself. This is another exercise just for students. So any questions so far? If you don't have any questions, we can move to stress. All right. So I'll start with stress. So what is stress? Stress is the physical and emotional response to demands or pressure. So once a person is under pressure or there is too much obligations, too much demanding orders on them, they will react and respond. So how they respond, there are two types, like physically and emotionally, both of them together. So it makes them stress. So stress is a physical and emotional response to demands and pressure. So an emotional or physical reaction to environmental activities and events. Of course, when environmental activities and events happen, people tend to have a reaction either emotionally or physically or both of them. So stressors is situations in which people feel anxiety, tension, and pressure. So stress is very subjective. One stresses one may not stress the other. So maybe a student will be very stressed by exam, but another student is very relaxed and calm before the exam. Maybe you work in a group to accomplish a group project or conduct an event in the university. Some of you might be very stressed, but the others might be very calm and relaxed. So there are different types of people regarding their reaction to stress. So type of stress, we have eustress and distress. Eustress is positive stress that motivates, sometimes because you want something to do it perfectly. You get stressed, but this is a positive stress so that you do this thing in a good way and before the deadlines. While negative stress, which is called distress, it's very harmful because it might lead you to a place that you cannot even complete what you started because of too much stress. You cannot even complete it. You cannot think properly. So common work stressors, what are those things that at work usually makes you stressed? Heavy workload, when you have too much work, too much task to do. This makes you stressed. You are afraid not to catch up or do them in a proper way. Also conflict with colleagues. Sometimes you have a problem with your colleague, with your classmate, you have an issue with them. Also makes you stressed at work. Or maybe lack of control or clarity. Maybe you are a leader or a manager, you don't have control over your staff, or even you are an employee, you don't have control over your duties and tasks. Sometimes things are not clear for you, you don't know how to do things, clarity. So all of these things are factors at work that makes a person or an employee stressed. So here we need to manage those stress. So how to manage the stress, promote work-life balance. Work-life balance meaning that all of us, we have 24 hours in a day. Divide them into 3 sections. We have 8 for sleeping, 8 to work, and 8 for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your private time. So if you divide your time accordingly, you will create a balance for your life, which is called work-life balance, and you will be less stressed. For example, if you use 16 hours a day working, of course you will be stressed and very overloaded. And also, if you try to ignore your tasks and duties at work and spend all your time talking to your colleagues, drinking coffee, going to lunch, not performing your tasks properly, again, this causes you stress because time will fly and you're not done with your duties and tasks. So try to promote your work-life balance. Then support your mental health, like emotionally and mentally. It's important to care about yourself. Health is not only a physical health, it's also a mental health. Try to meditate, try to go to gym, try to do yoga. Even if you need a therapist, go to therapist. So mental health is as important as physical health. Then another thing is delegate fairly. So delegate meaning that giving tasks to others. How? Not in a way to take responsibility away from yourself, but to ask others to coordinate and help you in a certain task. Especially when you are a team leader, a manager, you distribute and delegate your team tasks fairly and like equally, or maybe according to their specializations and experiences. Another point to manage stress is encourage open communication. So communication, I believe you had other courses about communication before, you know the importance of communication. Communication is not only important in work life, but also in social life and private life. As much as there are open and clear communication between individuals and groups, everywhere, every time, things will go in a more clear way, in a better way. So as much as you have a better communication with your colleagues, with your family, with your spouse, with your friends, you'll have a better relationship and more understanding among them. And having all these points, understanding all these points, like performing them, promoting them, developing them in yourself will decrease the stress in each of you. So there's a tip, leadership tip. It says recognize signs of stress and offer support. So know what makes you stress, then try to support yourself. Or maybe know what makes your friends and team stress and try to support them. So stress teams cannot perform well. Stress individuals cannot perform well. It's important for all of us to know and identify the stress signs in ourselves and try to solve them. Okay. So this is another exercise. This is for you. This is the result of the exercise. So it's tell you if you scored 60 or above, you're type A. If you get a lower score, type B. So solve it between each other and find out your type. Then we have stress personality type. Stress personality type, we have advantages and disadvantages. Advantages, it says some stress provide a challenge and motivation, as we mentioned. Some people work better under a little pressure or a little stress. While there are also disadvantages of stress, especially when there are very exaggeration in stress, or stress stays for a long time, for a long term without any solution. So it will be harmful for that person. So the disadvantages can be emotional exhaustion. So you will emotionally get very tired. negative attitudes, so you will behave in a negative way that hurt relationships and performance. So it will hurt yourself and it will hurt others around you. Also, a long-term stress might lead to depression, which in turn can cause heart diseases, stroke, obesity, eating disorders, diabetes, and some forms of cancer. So be careful, guys. If you have too much stress, you cannot control your stress, and you are having it for a very long time, it might lead you to depression. And depression is dangerous because it can turn to many physical health issues, such as mentioned here, and also it will lower your immune system. So be careful, try to care about your mental health and consult a doctor if necessary. So, of course, we have causes of stress. There are things that will cause stress, such as personality type, organizational climates, management behavior, and degree of job satisfaction. So let's discuss them one by one. Personality type. Why personality type is a cause of stress? Because stress comes within you, inside you. So the degree to which stressors affect you, stressors means things that stress you, okay? For example, we are all students in one class. Something happens in the class. It might affect student A less than student B. So student B will be more stressed than student A. So things will affect us differently. So it depends on the person and on the personality of that person and how this person is dealing with the stress and handling them. So the personality type is one of the causes of being too much stress or little stress. This is one of the causes. Another cause is organizational climate. So overall moral and level of motivation in the organization has a major effect. So how's the environment in that organization? How are the managers dealing with the employees? How are the rules and regulations, motivation, everything, how things goes in that organization? Of course, it will be a factor that might cause stress to others or might create a very calming and positive environment to others. Moving to management behavior, so personality and styles of management. Of course, we have different types of managers and leaders. As much as your management and leader are more open, care about emotions of others, psychology of their staff, they make their employees less stressed and vice versa. So calm, nice boss versus controlling and autocratic bosses. You have autocratic bosses. They always tend to control, while you have bosses, they are more friendly, they listen to their staff. Of course, they will cause less stress. All about degree of job satisfaction. So, of course, as much as employees are satisfied with their job, they're less stressed. As much as they are dissatisfied, they are more stressed because they will not like what they're doing and they will not be happy with what they're doing. So once you are not happy in a place or in a situation and you still need to continue with that, you will be more stressed. All right. So what are the signs of stress? How to know a person is stressed or not? Physically, your rate of breathing will increase. You will breathe faster. You will start sweating. And there will be change in appetite. Some people will eat more. Some people cannot eat at all. And acne. I believe you know acne. It will come up on your face. This is the physical signs of stress. Mental or emotional signs, a burnout. Burnout is when you are reaching a level you will say, finish. I cannot, this is the last point for me. I'm finished. I cannot continue anymore. That you are too much overloaded. So this is called burned out. So the constant lack of interest and motivation to perform your job because of stress. So burned out is a very high level of stress and anxiety. This is the mental or emotional signs of stress. So how to control stress? So once you are stressed, what to do? We have 3 stages. In step 1, we identify the stressor, meaning that we will try to know what makes us stress. So you will identify the factors that stresses you. So once you know what makes you stress, you move to step 2. In step 2, you determine their causes and consequences. So what made that thing makes me stress? And what are the results of that thing happening to me and me becoming stressed? What are the consequences? What will happen after that? So once you know the reason of your stress and why it happens and what are the results, you will move to step 3, which is planning. You will plan to eliminate or decrease the stress. So you will want to decrease the stress, okay? So you will we have an exercise here. So it's a physical exercise, such as going to the gym, going to hiking, going for a walk, riding a bicycle, going to play some sort of sport such as football, tennis, kickboxing, anything. So physical exercises is an example of an excellent way to release tension and reduce weight as well. So if you are stressed, find what makes you happy. Some people, if they go for football, they will be happy. Some people, if they go for a road trip in nature, they will be less stressed and they will calm down. Some people, if they do yoga, some people, if they go to a therapist and talk to a therapist just to talk, make a conversation, because sometimes you might not trust your friends to tell them everything about yourself, but you can trust a therapist because everything will stay confidential between you and them. So you can go to them, talk to them, so in order to release the tension in yourself. So there are always ways to come out from stress and be calmer. So here we are continuing with how to control stress. Another way is nutrition. So nutrition is a major factor in your health dealing with stress. So it's not only exercise, it's also what you eat, because what you eat will come inside your body. So minimize the intake of junk food and fast food. Try to eat healthier. Drink a lot of water. This also helps to improve your health. And also we have relaxation. Get enough sleep. Sleeping is very important. Try to sleep at least 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours per day, not less, not more. Find a hobby. Get a hobby. Like some people likes to read a book, some wants to play a musical instrument, someone wants to go to perform some artworks, draw some picture, learn a new thing, I don't know, maybe some sports, anything that you like. Find a hobby for yourself, learn a new language, go out and meet people, and practice relaxation technique. Relaxation techniques such as yoga, such as meditation, such as breathing techniques, there are a lot. Okay. Then we have positive thinking. Of course, people with negative thinking are more stressed and they see everything negatively. So as much as you are negative, you will be more stressed about everything that happens around you. So be positive, be optimistic, and have self-confidence, meaning that trust in yourself, trust in your personality, and learn from your mistakes. Always, when you make a mistake, it's true, all of us, we make mistakes, but try to learn from them and improve yourself after you make a mistake. And also support system is important, such as family and friends, and also we mentioned therapists. And you can find a place that is safe and nice for you to chill, to relax, to take a time for yourself, to think, to read a book, and just to take a very calming and quiet time for yourself. Here, intelligence is defined as it refers to logical reasoning, problem solving, and analytical skills. Okay, so intelligence was IQ is the abbreviation for intelligence. When you say someone has a high IQ, meaning that they are more logic, they have ability to solve problem, and they have the skills for analyzing things. So this is intelligence. Well, emotional intelligence, EQ, is the ability to understand and manage your own emotions and those of others. So it's how much you are able to understand others, how smart you are to understand others and manage your own emotions. For example, once you don't like something, or maybe something makes you angry, how much you are able to manage yourself and control yourself. And of course, understand your surroundings. So this is emotional intelligence. So what are the components of emotional intelligence? It's self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. So self-awareness, meaning that to be aware about yourself. Self-regulation, meaning that how to regulate and control yourself. Motivation is the level of motivation you have, how much you are motivated. Empathy, how you feel for others, how you can understand others' emotions. And social skills, how to deal with people, how to be there in the social communities. So these are the components of emotional intelligence. So why emotional intelligence or EQ matters for leaders? Why it's important that leaders should take emotional intelligence into consideration and develop their EQ skills? Because if they have better emotional intelligence skills, they will have better relationships with their team members, because they can understand them better, they can deal with them better. And they will find more solutions for the problems and conflicts, so they have better problem-solving skills. And inspiring and motivating people. They will be more inspiration for others, they will motivate others more. And these are all important for leaders. So there are learning styles. Here we need to learn in order to improve our EQ. How to learn? We have three types or three styles. We have visual, which means learning by seeing. There are people who learn by seeing. You have auditory, learn by hearing. There are people who learn better through hearing. And kinesthetic, those are people who learn by doing. So as an example, a leader with a high EQ can calm a tense meeting and help the team refocus on the task. So a leader with a very high skill of emotional intelligence, when they are in a meeting and some conflict and tension happens among the members, he or she has the ability to calm them down and refocus again on the main topics that they were talking about. So intelligence, let's move to intelligence. Intelligence, there are many different theories in intelligence, but generally they agreed that it's a product of both genetics and environment. So both genetics and environment has a role in building up intelligence of a person. So it's a general mental ability, and the level of intelligence is the level of one's capacity for new learning, problem solving, and decision making. So each person has a different level of learning, and of course different style, as we mentioned. Some people learn by doing, some people learn by seeing, and some people learn by hearing. So each one learn from a different way. So how much that person can be intelligent, it varies from a person to another. How you learn, how you can solve problems, how much you are able to solve problems, and how good are you at decision making will tell the level of intelligence of you. So strong predictor of outcomes in life, education, and occupational performance. Of course, intelligence will show your performance in your education as a student and your occupation as a worker, employee, leader, or a manager. So it will reflect in your performance. So we have 5 components of emotional intelligence. They are self-awareness. It's to understand what's happening with you. It's managing emotions, meaning that controlling your emotions, not letting your emotions get in the way of getting the job done, or making you deal with others in a way that hurts them. Also, we have self-motivation, as we mentioned, being optimistic despite obstacles, setbacks, and failure. So as much as you fail, you are optimistic and you can stand up again. So this is called self-motivation. Also, empathy, meaning putting yourself in someone else's shoes, meaning that understanding others' emotions. And social skill, as we mentioned, is the ability to build strong and positive relationship with others in work and in social and private life. Okay. So here we move to the learning style. As we mentioned, we have 4 learning style: accommodator, assimilator, converger, diverger. So let's learn about each one of them. accommodator. So let's continue with the 4 learning styles. We have accommodators, prefer learning by doing and feeling. So there are people who want to learn through doing, such as experimenting things. So they want to touch things hands-on. They want to act and feel that thing. They rely more on others for information than technical analysis. So this is the type of the people who want to learn by doing. They want to experience that thing and feel that thing by themselves. So they will learn after that. There is another type which are divergers. They prefer learning by observing and feeling. So they want to see things. Observing meaning that watching. So see things from many view of points, and they are very careful analyzers. They analyze things very carefully. We have another type, convergers. They prefer learning by doing and thinking. So they are doing and thinking about it. So they are more practical. They focus on solutions for problem and prefer technical skills over people skills. So they mostly want to do things through doing it by themselves and think about it by mind. But the previous type, they more wanted to follow their feelings. And for assimilators, there are those people who prefer learning by observing and thinking. So they want to see and think. So good at putting information into logical. They're more logical people and concise forms. They want to be conscious about things, and they are more interested in abstract ideas than in people. So they prefer abstract things, things that are proved for them. All right. So here we have group and organizational learning. So learning organization means companies that intentionally focus on sharing and knowledge. So learning organizations means those organizations who want their staff to learn. So they are on purpose. They want to share the knowledge among the staff in order everyone will learn. So their focus is on improved learning and knowing how knowledge is circulated. They want to know how the information and knowledge is circulated inside the organization. They are willing to learn from the mistakes. They are always practicing continuous quality improvement. So they always want to improve the quality of their products and services. They are questioning about where they are, what they are doing in order to make themselves better. And they make learning and change a positive experience. So they are turning change and learning in their organization a positive experience to everyone in that organization. So this type of organization, they always want to improve, they want to be better, and they start doing this by learning among the whole staff of the organization. Right. So here we have perception. Perception is how people see things, how people understand things. So a person's interpretation of reality, how they understand the reality, how they interpret the reality, how they translate the reality. So we experience the world through our senses. So we people, we experience the world through our senses. The senses are touching, seeing, feeling, hearing, tasting. These are the senses. So no two people see things the same way. Each people see things in a different way. Like now we are 8 billions on the planet Earth. We have 8 different billion way of seeing things. So perception is influenced by heredity and experience. So how we see things or how a person sees things, it will be influenced and affected by what? By what they're experiencing and what they are believing. So what are the bases? There are bias in perception. Bias meaning that like seeing things in a way that you want or prefer, such as stereotyping. Stereotyping is generalizing a behavior of a particular group. For example, you're saying all of the people from this particular country are smart, but they're not all smart. Or maybe all of those people from that community are very I don't know, disrespectful, but they're not all disrespectful. So this is stereotyping, when you're generalizing a behavior over a particular group and saying that they are all like that. If it's positive or negative, it's stereotyping. So sometimes a person is stereotyping things, okay? So this is stereotyping. Another bias is frame of reference, so tendency to see things only as they affect us. So for example, maybe something for me is very frustrating, makes me angry, but not for another one, but I still want to see it in that way. So here I think about those things just from the way that I see it, but maybe for someone else it's not harmful, it's not frustrating. So this is frame of reference. It's another bias. Another bias in perception is expectations. So tendency to see things in the way we expect them to be. For example, we expect our teacher to teach us in this way, but she or he does not teach us this way, so we get disappointed. So our expectations might fail us, our perceptions. Or maybe sometimes you expect your friend to bring you a present on your birthday, but he will not bring or she will not bring. So it will make you disappointed. So these are expectations. So if you are expecting to see things in a way, but things didn't happen that way or they are not that way, you should not get disappointed, because the way that we see things is not necessarily to be always correct or right. There's also another bias in perception, which is selective exposure. So meaning that picking out what we want and ignoring what we don't want. For example, ignoring some people around you, maybe it will hurt their feeling. For example, you are a leader and you are ignoring some part of your team and giving too much importance to another members in your team. This is also bias, or seeing things in that way. Another bias in perception is interest. So what interests you also affect how you perceive and approach things. So maybe something for me is very interesting. It makes me to look forward to achieve it, or if it's a person to meet it. But if it's not interesting for me, it makes me not to try to achieve it. So this is also you see things interested that might be not interested for not interesting for others, and vice versa. So also it's different. For example, some of you might see university very interesting. Some of you might not like it at all. So each of you sees university in a different way. Here we move to first impressions. I believe you heard about first impression. Let me start. So first impression is for the first time when you meet someone, you have a sort of understanding about that person. You have an impression of that person, or maybe, okay. So first impression is how others see you and understand you for the first time, or how you have an impression on the person when you see them for the first time. So tips for leaders and professionals to have a positive and good impression over others: smile and show confidence, dress professionally, listen actively, use names and maintain eye contact, be respectful and open-minded. So all of these points will make you have a very good and positive first impression. So in a global business meeting, the first 30 seconds can define your entire relationship, because first impression might make you win a very good job, or accepted in a good position, or open a business deal, or gain a business deal, achieve a business deal. So be careful about your first impressions. Now we are over with this chapter. If you have any questions, please ask.